Hi, I'm Sylvia Gordon with the Medicare Family, and today I am playing Cupid and recommending to people, should you get married or should you get divorced? Which is basically living out my childhood dream of being Dear Abby, because I love to read Dear Abby and Nan Landers religiously every day in the morning. You are divorced and you are 58 and you're thinking about getting remarried. And you want to know, how does this impact Social Security? So there's a lot of different ways I could go about this, but the main point I want to kind of talk about in this video is survivor benefits. You are eligible to draw off of your ex-spouse. I don't care if he remarried. His remarriage has no bearing on you. But you were married to him for 10 years and he passes away. You're eligible to get survivor benefits, which would be 100% of what he was eligible for, as long as you haven't remarried. And a lot of people are familiar with this. They know something about they can't remarry or they'll lose that benefit. When you turn 60, you can start drawing survivor benefits. And as long as you haven't remarried before 60, you can draw off that spouse that you haven't talked to in 30 years. This is where I get to play Cupid. Now you can get married at 60 in one day. And that will not negatively impact your survivor benefits. So, okay, don't get married before 60. You can get married after 60 and keep your survivor benefits. Now, as far as getting married before 60, let's say you get married at 50 and you're like, oh crap, if he passes, I can't get survivor benefits, or he already passed and I know I can't get survivor benefits because I did remarry. If you divorce again, now you're suddenly single again. So a lot of people think that marriage shut you down forever from drawing on your ex-spouse. It didn't. It only shut you down while you were married. But if you would divorce again, now you're again eligible to draw benefits off that first marriage. Now, if both marriages, you had two marriages and they were both at least 10 years, now you have options. You could draw spousal benefits when you get to retirement, either off either spouse, or if your own retirement's higher, off yourself. So whichever one of those three amounts is higher, that's the retirement benefit you can draw, as long as you're still not married. And like I said, marriage after 60, we're cool. So the flip side of this is people that are living together. And I got a lot of you old hippies out there in my audience, right? You said you don't need a certificate to be married, you live together, and you guys are all in my comment section. We've been together 15 years, 25 years, 32 years. We have 3 kids, we have 5 kids, but we never legally got married. How does that impact me as far as Social Security? And it's terrible. You're not married. You do not exist as far as Social Security is concerned. Neither of you can get benefits off each other, either spousal benefits, disability benefits, survivor benefits. So if you are the low income earner, which is typically the wife, and you stayed home to raise these 3 kids and you don't have very much retirement money set aside to draw off your own Social Security, it behooves you. It's just not a word you hear that often, behoove, to go ahead and get married right now. Turn off this video, go to the courthouse, get married. Now you can keep your hippie cred. You don't have to tell your kids, you don't have to tell your friends. They can all still think that you are just living together. But as far as Social Security goes, as soon as you got married, you got to be married basically a year. But if one of you dies, the other one can get the full benefit, which could greatly change the life and the quality of retirement typically that the woman is going to have. Because now you can get 100% of the Social Security your spouse would have gotten, which if you're single, if you're living together, you can't get that. There are certain states, very few, that recognize common law. But in general, for most of you people, living together for 30 years doesn't count for anything as far as Social Security is concerned. And you need to get married and be married at least a year. And then boom, we're good. Now, if you still have minor children, then we don't need the time limit. And if he died, there's always exceptions to all these rules. And if you do have questions with this topic, please ask me in the comments below, or email us here at the Medicare Family, or just call the 800 number. And anybody that answers the phone will be happy to answer your questions. Doesn't cost anything to work with us. We never charge a fee to work with us. If you're not married, you're living together, and you're getting close to retirement age, it might be a conversation to have, because it might be a lot of money you're just going to leave on the table, that it's just going to go to the government. Especially for the women that don't have much Social Security to draw on their own. If you get married, you can get 50% of the amount that your spouse is eligible to get. So if he's eligible to get $3,000, you can get $1,500 a month just because you went ahead and you took the step to get married. Versus if you have to draw on your own amount, you might only get $700 a month. Okay? Don't trust me, some lady on the internet. Call Social Security. Call your local Social Security office and ask them right now, how much would you be able to draw at retirement age or at 62? And see what numbers you're talking about. And have your partner, your cohabitant, whatever you call the person you're not married to, that guy, have him or her call too and find out how much they'd be eligible for. Because now you can say, I'd get 50% of that when I reached my full retirement age. And look at the numbers and see if maybe getting married as much as you didn't want to might be the best financial decision you did for your retirement years. I hope this video helped you. If it did, consider and hit the subscribe button. I put out one video every Wednesday. Share this with any of your friends that you think it could help them. And thank you for tuning in to the Medicare family.